And the funniest thing is, if you can't sort out some eggs every morning, what problem can you solve? What can you step into and solve? Mr. Don't Name Drop. Here's a picture of me and the mayor. Ooh, yeah, look, me and the mayor. But the city smells like trash and it stinks and there's rats everywhere. And what's up with this area here? We can't sit here anymore. People used to like to sit here, but we can't sit here. I don't know why, but it's stupid. But me and the mayor and the city is full of trash and there's rats and it stinks. What are you gonna do, Philly? Burn more bridges. Just keep burning those bridges. Oh, there's so much here. I'm gonna try and get it all in this time. I've tried a couple of videos and I just can't stop laughing because it's eggs, bro. It's fucking eggs. It's breakfast. How can you not sort out your breakfast? How can you say you're a man? How can you put your sunglasses on, walk down the street, and say you're a man and not be able to sort out your breakfast and let this linger and bubble and boil for how many years, by your own admission, to where you finally pop a vein and put out a video and not only burn the bridge for you, Philly totally burned the bridge for all of his friends potentially, because who's going to go back into that restaurant after sitting at Philly's table knowing that everybody in there by now has seen that video and you're friends with that guy? He's your buddy. You're eating with him all week, all month, for years. Oh man, Philly, just burn the bridge and the city and everything else around it. I mean, what an idiot. So let's break this down a little. So Philly melts down over eggs, over breakfast, and you need to be fired. That cook needs to be fired. How the fuck does he know what the working conditions in that kitchen are to where he can make a statement like that? And how the hell do you go online and tell 100,000 subscribers this guy can't cook, and you call him out personally? You call out the cook personally. It's not like you said the company. It's not like you said the tequila. And how many conversations have you had with that cook? How many times have you said, hey, you know what? I understand, eggs are kind of a variable, flexible thing. They can be anywhere from like raw to hard boiled or hard cooked or whatever. And there's this spectrum. On the spectrum, this is where, I really like it, and most Westerners like it right here, and it's kind of a timing thing. I understand that. And I don't know how many plates you're cooking at once. I usually come in with my friends and eat, so you've got at least 5 plates. But, if you want to do over medium, it's got to be like this or this to keep Westerners happy and help the guy out, right? Because he may be thinking, hey, it's not raw and it's not well done, so it's good, right? That may be his perspective on what is good. He's probably going home every night thinking he did a great job. And according to most people, he did do a great job. So he's just picky. And how many times did he talk to the owner? He's like, oh, I don't have any issue with the owner. Bullshit. You just submarine the guy's business to 100,000 viewers. You just boom, tank killer round away. I was just watching The Fat Electrician. They were talking about these tank killer rounds. But anyway, it just, how do you do that? And how do you go online and call men simps if you can't sort out breakfast? I could probably go to a restaurant in the Philippines, walk in, and they'll say, oh, good morning, would you like your breakfast? I could probably go to a restaurant in Triana. Same thing. Oh, nice to see you. Would you like your breakfast? Saranda. Guarantee you, I can walk in and they will ask me if I want my breakfast if it's that time of day. I could probably go to one in Poland and get the same thing. And I've done all that in less time. And half the time, you've been eating bad toast. And here's the funny thing. So I'm in Japan. I've only been here a few months. And I really like coffee in a mug, not in a paper cup. When you go to Starbucks, the Starbucks here are actually really good, not like the States. And the service is fabulous, right? And the people are great. But they like to give you your cup, give you your coffee in a paper cup as, normal. And so I'm trying to figure out how to get it in the mug, right? I'm only been here a whole time, short time. It's not like I'm married to a Japanese woman. It's not like, I've lived in Japan for 5 years. It's not like the ink is dry on my passport, but I know how to say mug cup because I like my coffee in a mug, not in a paper cup. So I know how to say mug cup. How long have you been in the Philippines and you can't say white toast in Tagalog? Oh, it's fucking breakfast, and you blew a fuse, and you went online to 100,000 subscribers and just belittled, berated, insulted. You take all those negative adjectives and add them all up, and you did that to this poor cook. And you're, oh well, nobody knows. I didn't mention his name, or everybody knows who you're talking about. They're going to be sitting around this weekend joking with him, giving him a hard time. Oh, that Cano said you can't even cook an egg. I thought you were this big chef. I thought you were this big chef. And hopefully, I don't know anything about Tequila Reef. Hopefully, the owner, the managers, have some levity and have some intelligence. And the first thing they'll do is say, Philly, yeah, you're never welcome here again. Thank you. Goodbye. Don't ever come back. And we'll circle back to that. But the other thing is, I hope they realize and recognize that the cook is not the problem here. And, I don't care how you feel about your eggs. What fair chance did you give that guy to deliver? What feedback did you give? How many times did you talk to him or the manager? Expecting good communication between a waitress and a cook, it's just a fallacy, right? It's just never going to happen. I mean, it happens once in a while, happens, at the best of places. But what if there's a little animosity between them? What if this? What if that? Right? What if it's never reliable, and it's never a chain of communication any adult would use to make such a deflammatory, inflammatory, insulting statement about somebody, And what if it's on purpose? What if you videotape the guy's, if it's a guy, what if you videotape the person's friend or daughter or mother or sister walking down the street saying, oh, this is a good Jergens moment, and put in your little squirt. And every time he sees you walk in, he's like, I got this guy. White toast? Nope, you're getting wheat today. Oh, runny eggs? Yeah, I got you. What if that's the case? The whole thing just cracks me up. But burning bridges, like you burnt it for yourself, you burnt it for your friends. Your friends have got to eat a lot of crow, drop a lot of big tips, make sure that to go above and beyond and make sure that people at Tequila Reef know they don't feel the way you do, and they're going to have to trash talk you if they want to keep eating there. Otherwise, there's an old saying where I grew up: if the meal's under $100, don't ever send it back, no matter what. Don't ever send it back. And that's just common sense for a lot of people. You don't go to Denny's and send the meal back because you're going to get a little extra sauce with it. And all your friends got to be concerned that they're going to be treated poorly now because of you. All the people you called friends. I don't know if they're going to call you friends after this, but they probably will. People are loyal for all the wrong reasons sometimes. So, and this is where it gets really funny. Did you miss the defamation lawsuit in the Philippines recently? Did you miss the idea that this guy is in AngelesCity? Is he born and raised there, or does he have extended family? Where are you moving? Oh, you've broadcasted online. You've shown videos. So if you just made an enemy out of a cook and a bar owner, and you're moving, what are the chances people there know people here, and you're going to get all kinds of static and harassment at your new location? So you burnt the bridge. The bridge in AC is burnt. Like, no smart restaurant owner would allow you in their restaurant in Angeles, because you have been pumping this restaurant for years. Oh, I eat here, I eat here, I eat here, I eat here. That says it's a good place. If you go back, that says it's a good place, right? I've had many people tell me, the best tip is your repeat business, right? Your kind words. And you've been doing both of those. And now you just slam them and say, oh, it's been shit for years, and da 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 da, and fire that cook. Well, that's a direct reflection of the owner, direct reflection of the manager. You're saying they don't do QC on their stuff. And it's just a horrible situation, right? So you burnt the bridge there. But how many bridges where you're going did you burn? You don't know, and you won't know. There's no way to know. And the funniest, like, this is where it gets really, I keep saying the funniest, because it's all just, I can't believe somebody's this foolish, right? If I owned a restaurant anywhere near you, and you walked in with your sunglasses and your pelt head or whatever, right? I'd be like, oh, hi, sir. Thank you. Have a nice day. We refuse the right, or we reserve the right to refuse service. I don't even know if they have to say that in the Philippines. I think they can just say, sorry, no, thank you, go away. Uh, there's no obligation to serve you. And why would anybody serve a blogger with 100,000 subscribers who just trashed somebody and clearly didn't give the owner, the management, an opportunity to correct the situation that's been going on for years? By your own words. Oh man, that just cracks me up. It's like, you know, and it's eggs. If you can't sort out eggs, if you can't sort out breakfast, if you don't have the courage to stand up and say, hey, this is how I want it, this is what I want to pay for, can you do that or not? And just let that fester for years. If you don't have that enough, geez, man, if you don't have enough backbone to do that, how are you going online giving people advice about anything? How are you going online saying, don't listen to this guy, don't listen to that guy, don't listen to that guy, because I know everything. Ink's dry on my passport. I can't order eggs correctly. I can't get white toast when I want white toast instead of wheat. But I know everything about the Philippines. You're serious. Like, this guy is, he's dead serious. I'm serious. I'm a serious person. But I can't order toast in Tagalog after living here for 5 years. And they screw it up all the time, and I'm just going to let that anger fester. I'm just going to let it fester until a vein pops and I go online and commit social suicide and maybe financial suicide. Because, how many guys are going to sit around and poke fun at that cook this weekend and give him a hard time and joke with him and, and you did that, Philly. Congratulations. Good job. You took a poor cook who's been feeding you for 5 years and just made his life miserable for the next how many months? And, fingers crossed Tequila Reef has some levity or some, intelligence and, they don't dump the guy. Because, way to make an enemy. Good job. You made an enemy of me when you went online and you defamed the military. And you took those chuckleheads and you elevated their voice to 100,000 subscribers, and you let them talk shit about the Bronze Star, you let them talk shit about Blue Cords, you let them accuse a veteran of stolen valor with no grounds and no basis. And here's the thing, is that big volume of people who check in and watch you, I'm walking down the street or sitting at a bar and people are telling me, oh, Tim K's going to jail, Tim K's going to jail for stolen valor. I'm like, how did you come to that conclusion? Oh, well, it's on Philly's channel. It's on Philly's channel. Didn't you see the video? Tim K's in trouble. So you've got this huge megaphone. Philly has this gigantic megaphone to sway people's opinion. He's out there telling lies and bullying people. So yeah, I have no problem getting online and talking some shit and laughing my ass off. And making some videos that, are good for other people in the Philippines to take care of. Because that's all, Philippines is not my country. It's not my city in AngelesCity. I'm not a citizen. I don't have a temporary visa, or, I don't have a residence visa, which is actually a temporary visa. It's not permanent, right? If you don't have a Philippine passport, it's not permanent. No matter what you think, it's not permanent. So it's up to the Philippines government and Philippines community to decide what they want to do. It's not in my control, but I will definitely have some fun laughing at this situation. And Goldfinger did the same thing, and he's got this huge voice, and he's going out there and like, oh yeah, you can just go ask for donations and give it out, and no, bro, get right with the government. You don't go to a foreign country and just start asking for donations. You have to sort that shit out with the fucking government. And if you're gonna fucking hammer a cook at a restaurant, how dare you do that without having multiple conversations with the owner before you go online to 100,000 subscribers? And if any business in the Philippines saw you coming, they're all going to be going like, it's that guy. It's that guy. It's that guy. And all of them, all the restaurants to your new city, if they were smart, they'd all be like, nah, I really don't want your endorsement or your business. Have a nice day. Because it's unreliable. It's not a good thing. You're out there just slinging shit. And the more shit you throw, the more shit you're going to hit people with, and the more people are going to pick it up and throw it back. It just cracks me up. You're like those monkeys at the zoo, just throwing their shit everywhere, and you don't care who you hit. And good, throw it at me. I don't care. It doesn't faze me one bit. But when you go online and eviscerate a Filipino cook who's been feeding you for years, according to what you're saying, that says everything about you. That says everything about you. Like, I don't get it. I really don't understand. Go get your head checked, maybe. I don't know. Take a nap. Eat some chocolate. Dark chocolate's actually really good for you if you get the shit without sugar. Eat some chocolate. Maybe you'll get a little happier. I don't know what it is, but this meltdown over eggs, and you want to call me a simp, so you couldn't assert yourself well enough to get your eggs cooked correctly for how many years? But I'm the simp. Yeah, sure. If you want to call me a white knight, go right ahead. I don't care. Because, yeah, I don't agree or support with people abusing other people. And, you want to go online, accuse me of supporting somebody who is abusing their wife, but you won't tell me who it is. You won't tell the world who it is. And anybody that knows me knows that if you're abusing your wife or a woman or a girlfriend or anything, and I find out about it, you're going to resolve that shit, make amends immediately, and it's going to end immediately. Or there's going to be a guy with a badge and a gun investigating it to see what's there. Because I don't put up with that shit. If you're friends with this guy and you eat at Tequila Reef, I'm sorry. But yeah, the sick grandpa told me, oh, you got to be careful. Don't insult the Godfather because, you won't be welcome and other people won't like you. If you don't like me for taking a stand against this guy, good. Have the courage to tell me to my face. Don't be a fleckless little weakling, spineless little guy like Philly. Have some moral courage and just tell me, hey, I'm sorry, I don't really appreciate what you're saying about Philly. Can you take your business elsewhere? And I will be glad to go. I will be happy to go. And I will say thank you. And I will never think negatively of you in that regards because you have the courage to stand up and define your boundaries. if you can't order eggs or toast, how can you define your boundaries in anything? Anything. Oh, that shit cracks me up. It makes me hungry though, because I know I want to go get eggs and garlic rice. And you know what I'm talking about. People there, if they ever watch this, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about, because uh, that makes my mornings happy. And some of the best coffee I've had in a long time. Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's just the funniest shit. But if you're an expat or a future expat, watch that video. It is a great lesson to learn from, because you let these little frustrations boil up, and it's not like you're bitching to friends at a bar. It's not like you're having a conversation. It's not like you have a small channel that gets 30 views, right? 100,000 plus subscribers. You have a responsibility to QC yourself. And if you blow a fuse when you're overseas by yourself, or in a country where you don't fully grasp the culture and the laws, and you put yourself in harm's way for no good reason. You really put yourself in harm's way for no good reason. Beyond the defamation lawsuit that was not so long ago in the Philippines, there was that tourist who did a review and gotten a lot of, or I don't think they were tourists, I think they were an expat. I think it was Travago. I think they did a review on Travago. I'm just going off my memory here. And they got in a lot of trouble. People in vloggers got in trouble in Japan recently. Then that chucklehead went to Israel. Like, I don't get it, right? And Japan just closed part of Kyoto City, or Kyoto City. I can never pronounce shit correctly. They just closed a bunch of streets in the city to tourists because tourists are being assholes. They didn't understand the cultural, they weren't respectful. So get a passport, get out there, use it. But learn from these chuckleheads, and and enjoy life. But get out there, get a passport, and use it. And don't sit around and watch these chuckleheads. Don't sit around and watch me all day with no intention of getting off the couch. Get out and go order your own eggs. And if you're not getting, here's the best lesson you're going to learn from me on this video. If you're not getting exactly what you want, you order the same thing all the time, learn to say it in the local language. So if you want a cup, like a mug, a porcelain mug for your coffee, I don't have anything hard. In Japan, I found saying tall mug cup, and then I point to they point the menu out there, and hot coffee, tall mug cup. Even Japanese that don't understand hello, or appear to not even understand the hello or thank you, they understand mug cup, and they understand tall coffee. It's, but I don't know how to say white toast in Tagalog, but if that were an issue for me 2 years ago, I would have sorted that shit out, right? If it kept coming out like randomly, I would have sorted that shit out like boom. But I don't have dry stamp, or I don't have a passport full of dry stamps. I have a passport full of active stamps. I have a passport that gets used, and I'm not complacent, and I'm not bitter, and I'm not the all-knowing arbiter of all knowledge. If you ask me a question, the majority of the time, I'm going to tell you where I would go to get the answer. I'm not going to try and fake the funk and give you an answer that is may or may not be correct. I'm definitely not going to tell you not to listen to other people. I'm going to tell you to go listen to a lot of people. And I'm going to try and stop giggling, because it's just going through my head. It's like, it's eggs. How fleckless, how weakling, how spineless do you have to be to not be able to sort out eggs? Like seriously? And it's the same restaurant. It's the same people. It's the same cook. It's one thing, like, just being self-assessing. Just being self-assessing here, I'm thinking about my issue with trikes, right? There's hundreds and hundreds of trike drivers, and there's me. And I don't like getting yelled at, and I don't like getting cheated, and this and this and that. So I made that video, right? Who was that video pointed at? It was pointed at people like Philly, because they're out there talking to these people every day. And it is within their ability to help the trike drivers not get replaced or go away or lose their job to the Grab drivers, and the city just saying, I don't want these problems, right? And how do they do that? Hey, have you thought about getting a bigger trike like they have on every other island? Hey, have you thought about putting up a price board here at your trike stand? This is your little corner of the mafia. You run this trike stand, and they have to pay you to work here. So you can put a board that says it costs this much to go here to there, and it removes all the animosity between the customer and the trike driver, right? Makes it easy, encourages tips, because it's straight up. There's not this, am I getting screwed, right? You can say, hey, keep the trikes clean, right? You can go to the little hawkers on the walking street there and say, hey, maybe instead of just selling drugs, cigarettes and Viagra, maybe offer something that people that don't do drugs would want. People that just drink or, whatever, right? Get the little Gatorade sticks and sell those. I'll bet they would go really well with a cold water. Just saying. But Philly's in this restaurant 5 days a week. These are the same people, and he still can't sort it out? You've got to be kidding me. Like, how? How can you let that fester? How can you let that be an issue? And how can you go online to 100,000 plus subscribers and just slam these people? Because he's not just slamming the cook. He's slamming the manager who says the cook's not doing the overwatch, slamming the owner who's not doing QC, and he's slamming the waitresses. He's slamming the waitresses for not QCing the food between the kitchen and the table. That's usually part of the waitress's job, is to look at it and go, is this what they ordered? Because that's part of their QC. In most places, the waitress has to QC, hey, this customer said no pickles. There's pickles on this. Did I write no pickles? Hey, I wrote no pickles, right? And that's part of the whole QC. So he is telling the owner to fuck off. You did a shitty job. But he's too cowardly to say that to the owner, so he's going to go after the cook, who may or may not speak English, probably does, but has no voice against Philly, has no way to punch up against Philly, has no means to stand up for himself against Philly. Philly's just this big, overwhelming, voice, and he's going to do his best to sway public opinion in his direction. And good on him. Let Philly, keep punching down. He is punching down so far because he's got this big megaphone of voice, right? And he's sitting there like, let me bend over and stretch and see if I can punch down that far. Because what avenue does the cook have to confront the 100,000 people that are going to be told this about him? And, maybe 30% of his family and friends watch this. And this weekend, they're going to be sitting around just making this guy's life hell. The butt of all jokes for the next week. Oh, I thought you were this big chef. I thought you were this cool guy. I thought you were this cook. You can't cook an egg? An egg's like, it's like you can't boil water? Imagine the jokes that are coming his way and the harassment that's coming his way because Philly's a coward. That's all this comes down to, is Philly's too much of a coward to stand up for himself. Too much of a spineless, fleckless weakling to stand up for himself and say, hey, this is what I ordered and this is what I would like. And if it's not available, if it's not possible, then just walk away. I can tell you where to walk from Tequila Reef and get the food you want. Just walk over to Duke's at Scorebirds. Every time I've eaten there, I've had great food. Maybe you haven't. I have. It's been a while, but it was always very reliable. Walk down to... Anyway, you get the point. There's plenty of places you can go and get food if you're just... have a backbone. Have some empathy. Have some social skills. And have some courtesy. I don't know, man. I just don't know, but I don't have a problem getting white toast. Not that I would eat that shit, but I don't have a problem getting what I order. Just saying. I don't know how many continents I've been on lately, but I don't have a problem getting. I mean, even in Istanbul with no language skills, I was still able to order my breakfast and get it with no problems. And zero language skills in the middle of a snowstorm, a windstorm, a rainstorm. Every place is closed. I still sat down and got the food I wanted, and it was really good. Crack me up, Philly. People are just not going to come back, and Philly doesn't care. He just dropped a big old stink bomb, and he's like, "I'm out of here." I hope he's got everything dialed, because I would not want to be staying in AngelesCity if I were Philippines. I'd definitely not want to have to come back with my tail between my legs. And, honestly, I don't know, the funny thing would be to find out where he's living and go around and show that review to all the restaurants in the area. Hey, this is what you can expect from this vlogger. He's going to talk you up and then slam you. And if I own Tequila Reef, I might go on a trip and do that just for fun and shits and giggles, right? But I would start with banning Philly. And if I were that cook, yeah, Philly, I don't get it. I don't know why you'd go out of your way to make an enemy out of a cook. And, you want to complain about people talking shit about you online, just remember, I don't know the numbers. The majority of comments I see that are critical online, they're all rooted in some sort of factual thing. So if you think having your big bully voice is a hard thing, what's even harder is when you're a small guy and some big bully is saying shit and you have no avenue to approach him, no avenue to discuss it with him, no avenue to influence him. That's the hard thing. It's not being a big guy having people talk shit about you. It's being the little guy getting bullied. And imagine how that cook feels. What avenue of recourse does he have to argue for himself against Philly in the Philippines, the godfather of the YouTubers? He can speak to 100,000 subscribers and like that. And this poor cook, he's just going to get berated now. And to what purpose does that serve, Philly? What good did you do with that video? I don't get it. I don't get the mindset of somebody who would go out of their way to punch down so far. And I mean, that's all he ever does. That's all Philly in the Philippines ever does. He never punches up. There's that, I think it's "You Got Exposed, Idiot." He even talks about how, he flat out, went after Philly and used his content, and Philly won't call him out in the video. Philly won't YouTube strike him. Why not? Philly will YouTube strike anybody and talk shit about anybody, but he won't go after that guy. Why not? Because he's a coward. He's a fleckless, weakling coward. And this video he put out is a perfect example of it. And if he's your friend, good on you, have fun. If you see me on the street, I'll be as civil as you are. But yeah, I'm not friends with people like that. And if I lose friends, future friends, over something like Philly, it's no sweat off my back. Because you were never going to be in my future anyway. Have some self-respect, demonstrate self-respect, practice self-respect. And if a restaurant can't cook the eggs you like, just quietly go about your business and find a place that can. It's not hard. I know 2 in the Philippines right now, within walking distance. Super easy. Take care. Good luck. Get a passport, get out and use it.